I'm very sweaty. I'm going to show you where I am. There, you're all very familiar with this. I'm in Kukia Cemetery. Where's that? It's in Tblisi in Georgia. What are you doing in Georgia, Lee? Your wife's eccentric. She, oh, good graves. I'll show you some of them. She, just started a new job in a week. And I went, well, you want a holiday, you could do one. Let's do one in the week you've got off. She was all like, oh, well, gotten a bit tense. Oh, well, what if you don't like where? I was like, well, I'm quite laid back. Don't worry about me. Just book a holiday. And then I'll just go, just book somewhere. Surprises. To be honest, I thought maybe going to Whitby, like Wales. No, we're doing 2 days in Tbilisi in Georgia because she found out there was a connecting flight from Turkey that was a midnight plane to Georgia. So we're here based on a pun. And that is true, that. So it's been lovely though, it's nice, Tbilisi. It's a beautiful city, but now it's 7:30, we're in a graveyard that, I'll be honest, I feel like we've snuck in. And we're going to struggle to find this grave. What grave is it, Lee? Well, we're looking for a... Yes, I did notice how sweaty I was. I have been all day, and for some reason, water sticks to us. She face me. Beautifully soft baby's face. We're looking for a woman who might be called Dagny Juel. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. It may be Dagny Juel. She's Norwegian. Well, she was. She's dead now. It's spelled Dagny Juel, and she was an actress and a writer and a muse. Often wondered about muses. Who died in famously controversial circumstances. She was most famously the muse of Edvard Munch out of the Scream. Like, she's not like, if you're thinking, you know that picture, Scream. Oh, that's why it's called Scream. That isn't her. She was on some other paintings of his that we've probably not heard of, to be honest. She was also the muse of some Swedish playwright whose name I did look up, cannot remember it. Now, there is a big problem. You can see these graves are very, very interesting, but they've absolutely got their own. They've got their own writing, haven't they? They've got a type of script that, again, if I bother to look, has a name. So I've no reason to assume hers is written in the Arabic script by which my ill-educated English brain is trained to read. So we'll have a look round, then as ever I'll not find the bastard and then we'll fuck off. Here's an interesting point. They're not all in Georgian. Some of them are in Cyrillics, which is great because I read that. I mean, by which I mean, no I don't, but my wife does. And she is with us. She doesn't want to be on camera because she's not cool like what I am. So this is one that may or may not be in Cyrillics. That's probably her, so we can wrap this up. No, it's someone else. That's Kapas Akebsi Muksana Bepa, which is English for their name. The bottom name there was Vera, which is the name Vera, but might also mean something else. So rest in peace, Vera. I hope you're all right. Well, you're not all right, are you? You're not. You're dead. It's quite an unusual graveyard. That's what I like about graveyards in foreign countries. They say something about the country, don't they? And these are very strictly segmented. And quite a lot of them are overgrown, which is... I think it's only right that most of the ones I film in are quite old graveyards. I don't want to do ones where people are still coming. It feels not on, really. A lot of these have pictures on, which I'm wary about getting... Oh no, we're trapped. I'm going to have to go back. I don't want to go over graves. Unless it was like a famous grave, like maybe as if there was a grave where it was like, oh, if you walk over this grave a ghost comes. I would do that because they obviously want you to, but then a ghost wouldn't really come because of the not being anything that exists. Sorry, I know people who watch grave videos are probably into spooky stuff, but go on, have a word with yourselves, eh? They're overgrown. It's quite late. I'll be honest, the walk here was not one of the most salubrious bits of Tbilisi. So don't necessarily want to be in too long. It's very overgrown. Let's go this way. So a lot of these are in cages. I don't know if that's a fear of something getting in. or something getting out. Like in a lot of them in Edinburgh like that. That's because of Birkenhead, the grave robbers, so they couldn't get in. Or other associated grave robbers. This one is just some bits of pipe, which is either they are like Catholics or whatever, being like, doing that is a cross and they didn't have the money, or some sort of fear of vampires. I do not know. Surprise are vampires, you know how they're scared of pipes and that? Do they have the same fear of symbols from other religions? It's a good question. Right in. PO Box 423, Old Ford Lock, London, SW4 892. We're not going to find this, are we? I'm not good at finding, that's a problem. Ooh, vodka. Cliche. Well, another problem is there's not obvious ways through these without some sort of walking on grip. Even that, I'm not. I feel trapped. Oh, look, Nana's got sad eyes. I hope she had a nice life. That's it. Right, we need to find a path of some sort. This is useless. There's a bird up in a tree. Can you hear it? That's a different bird you heard there, I think. We've seen lots of dogs, but they seem like scavengers who are working out with the, but like well-fed ones. They've got like their ears are chipped, so that's good, isn't it? Better than just. I've seen some cats which are, of course, better than dogs. Now, what would be lovely is often it's good if there's a description. It's just, oh god, it's so hot. I can't remember the word. You know, when people write on graves, that is like funny or notable, but I don't know, do I? Because I don't. Clay might know, it should say something funny in Cyrillics, but it's not traditionally a funny. I can't imagine they're light-hearted about their graves. I can't imagine that. We went on top of a mountain in a cable car. That was good. And other stuff as well, but I can't remember it. I had some underpants on that were sexy, and Claire got some pictures, and that is true. That was sexy to her, not to me. I think I look one of the ugliest men on earth. So God bless her. God bless her for sticking that out. This is good grave action. Look at that. Grave, table and chairs. Oh, I'm hungry, but also mourning. Bring it along. Bring it along. Bring his favourite snack. What is it? Probably that Georgian thing with egg and cheese and some bread. You know the one. Oh, do you know? You should come to Tblisi. It's nice. I knew it. I learned about it today. Don't go thinking I'm educated. But it is a good city, Tblisi. I'm not. No, it is. It is. I wonder, you know, if our best technique might be to leave and then find the real gate rather than the one where you... Oh, he has an actual path. That's good. There's a path here. Because I wonder if there's like a better entrance, you know? Rather than we snuck in somewhere that, to be honest, didn't look like it should be open, didn't it? So, that... Butterfly... Oh, it's gone. Butterflies, man. Also, I saw a nice butterfly today. Not that one, though. That was fine. A really good butterfly. Okay. What we got here? We're not going to find this, are we? She was murdered, by the way. This is where we came in, you see. It's not... I'm going to head down here. She was murdered by... Well, was she? He got away with it. But he was murdered by... She'd been a muse for loads of people and a writer and actor. I don't know what a muse is. Like, is it just a lass who is lush? Like, you know what I mean? Did I have to ask? Did they go, do you want to be me muse? Or did you just... She get paid loads of times saying, she's a muse here. Like, did she know she was a muse? And then she married this bloke. Didn't really want to look after his kids. Didn't even want to look after our own, apparently. Which, you know, I'm not judging. Our kids are pricks. Then she was found shot dead by an associate of his in a room in Tblisi in 1901 on July the 5th. Today, by the way, is July the 4th. Should have come tomorrow, really, shouldn't we? Claire insisted. Because we were near. We weren't that near. I don't know who this is, but he's got to be a pop star, hasn't he? Look at that. He's like, I don't know who he is, but he's only 20. So I don't know. He's obviously significant or from a rich family, I don't know, but let's hope he was, maybe he was the, oh, that looks like the fucking end of Carrie. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Oh, there's another table. It's quite a good thing, isn't it? So yeah, he was shot and the bloke was like, oh, it wasn't anything to do with me. But he had written a couple of stories about a man who gets his wife shot or something like that. So she didn't live, she lived in her 30s, I think. She's in here somewhere. And I think this is more promising down here. The man who shot her, he killed himself the next day. And the death was ruled suicide by carbon monoxide poisoning. Due to the old bullet holes in the head thing seem unlikely. And she was also shot in front of her 5-year-old son, which, what do you know, scarred the poor bugger. She was originally buried in a different cemetery, but was moved into here in 1999. I don't know why, because of Prince, probably. I don't know what that means. That's a cool picture. Look at that. Look, I don't normally do modern graves. But look, that fucker. Look at this. He's got sunglasses on, he's having a tab. The coolest thing you can do, smoking. No matter what they say, I don't smoke myself and I regret it every day. Look at him. Don't know who this is, but that is, I think that is a hooded ghost figure who died and haunts this cemetery this very day. Having some bread and a pomegranate. Emmerich, the bloke was called, by the way, who shot her. Her husband also had a name, but frankly, despite my many attempts to pronounce it, I cannot remember it. It's one of those Polish surnames, you know, no disrespect. Sure, that's a good name, but also, he only deserves so much respect because of the old plot in his wife's murder, so I'm not going to work too hard. I'm struggling with her name, to be honest, and it's only got 3 syllables. This has got loads of eggs on it. I don't know, is that an Easter thing? I simply don't know. What I do know is there are quite a few eggs on it. Here's what I've learned here. If you're going to visit a grave, it might have a table in it. If it hasn't got a table in it, they do still want eggs and bread. And why not? You know, like, oh, there's an egg painted. Sometimes they're painted. But I don't think you have to paint. Probably if it's a kid. Let's not talk about if it's a kid. Oh, hang on. What we've got over here? We've got a building, a church or a religious building of some sort. I don't know. Oh, look at that statue. Statue of a thing. I think, here's my thinking, because it happened, she was removed and reburied in 1999, it doesn't give us a clue as to where she'll be, in terms of often people of certain years are buried in an order. Obviously she wasn't, she was reburied later. But it makes me think it was obviously a big deal when she was buried, so it feels a good chance she would be around this area, right? Near this more significant bit. But again, oh, look at here, 2 chains, old Billy 2 chains. So let's have a look around here. This is a picture of, I'm gonna guess Mary. Also, my phone is only on 18%. So, let's not pretend that's not significant. What is this? What is this bit of copper? Copper wiring. Right, well, I simply do not know. Oh no, there's loads more graves over there. Shit. Oh, I can only get in there so much. I really don't think they're going to be over there as much as I'd like to have a look. I've seen some very interesting things, but my battery is fairly low, so I'm aware that I have to play a high risk game of just trying to guess which is most likely. And right now I want to check the graves around here, see if I can find her. No, that's 1960. Oh, that's a lovely grave. Is it? No, it's not. Sorry if it's your family. still a shame for them, isn't it? Well, we've been through this, it depends. Sometimes it's a shame at the time, but it's never a shame long term, is it? Because, well, it's complicated. Look, we all have to die. Let's accept that. It's hard, I can't accept it. I'm not, I like him. I can't accept my inevitable death, but it doesn't mean I shouldn't. It doesn't seem right. I'm not happy about it. But it's probably going to happen. I'm not. Claire's disappeared. She's probably fine. She's probably just looking at the grave. To be honest, we only really came here today because she really wanted to look at graves. And I was like, well, I was going to film some stuff, but it feels weird filming with her. She doesn't want to be filmed. So now I'm just an oddball. You know, but hey, that might be the case anyway. Right, we're at the doors here. I'm assuming this is the main entrance because it looks a bit grander than where we came in. There is still the problem that I can't read any of the languages these are more likely to be in. Right, so it's 16% battery. Heading down here. Wait. No, it's alright, that's 1932. Look at him, you suave wartime boy. Well, not wartime, 1932. There was probably wars going on. As ever, ignorant to history. Oh, well, that one is sad. I mean, they're all sad. We've been through this. You know, they're both sad and the consequence of inevitability, aren't they? There's a swanky boy in there. A lot of men with serious-looking men with moustaches and glasses, as was the style at the time. I've found Claire again, so she's not dead, everyone. Don't worry, she's going to act as my Cyrillics expert, should that be needed. She can also do a bit in other languages if necessary. She's not as fluent, but she can do a bit of French, German and British Sign Language if that comes up. She learned Korean for about a week, so you never know. So if, you know, that's all useful, that, isn't it? And she's currently doing Spanish and Polish and finding one of them easier than the other. So we've got options there. There's loads more eggs. Look at all them eggs, man. Yeah. Come here. Come here. You're having a party and there's only you with eggs invited. Now up here, I believe we have eggs in a carrier bag for later, which a lot of people don't think of that when you're visiting a grave. You can leave other people eggs oh no, that egg is broken. A lot of, probably animals eat the eggs, don't they? Because in reality, while the eggs are a tradition, the corpses cannot rise and eat eggs themselves. It's simply not practical. There's not time. You know, they're doing other stuff. Oh man, really bad at finding graves, to be honest. It's really difficult for me. So I don't have the patience, nor do I really like finding graves that much. Why are you doing it, Lee? Well, I've got into it now, haven't I? Come on, Dagny pet, where are you? I don't think she'd be called Dagny, do you? Maybe. But then it's Norwegian. If she was French, I'd be like, oh, Dagny or Dagny. She's Norwegian. So Dagny sounds more believable, doesn't it? Juel. She's had films made about her as well, so what I should have done is watched one of them. But to be honest, this seemed shit. I'm only going to do so much research for a grave I'm not going to find. As I said, I'm not good at finding graves. And almost certainly having it written with a script I cannot read, it's a real negative for me, that Dagny. I don't know what she was thinking, getting reburied in 1919 like that. Tomorrow will be the 123rd anniversary of her death. Horrible death, to be honest. But, well, is it? What is the best death? People think dying in their sleep would be good, but I don't know if that's true, really. Like, it's the last thing you ever see. Maybe you want to feel it, you know? I don't know. Except we're all different on that. That's not necessarily what I want either, by the way. I'm just mulling it over. She's This is, even after all this time, she's still being amused, isn't she? She's amusing on that. That's probably where I hadn't even thought about that. Muse. What? We hadn't thought that the word muse means muse. All right, Lee. There's a table, but it's not connected to any grave. So maybe if you just come here and you're not mourning anyone, just have something to eat here. There's a lot of flies, which for me would put me off. But some people eat flies. Hello, cat. Look, there's a cat on a grave. That is a sign, that, isn't it? I'm going to go around here, right? And I'll bet you a penny to a pound that that is her grave. Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? It's not impossible, actually, is it? See, I can't even read the dates because they're not. I'm going to go around here. It's going to be amazing, this. And I just look at it, and it is her grave. Come on. Yeah, you should be excited. Hello, cat. I call you Dagny. Dagny. Yes. No, don't run away. We're best friends. Nah, it's not her. It's just some other people who were, to the best of my knowledge, muses. Dagny. Dagny. You're a lovely looking cat. Sorry, I should have brought some dried cat food or something. But I'm afraid we didn't. I'll not disturb you if you're resting. But I'm glad to see you. You're feeling good. That was the best bit. Best bit. I don't even care if I find this pretty woman's grave now. What should bloody do? You know what I mean? Just got painted. How come she's so famous? Those people got painted. A lot of them are famous, to be fairly. She hasn't done anything wrong. She's just living her life and then she got murdered. So, you know, if not else, seen a cat. Now, I don't think we found it, but that could be it, right? Because there's no name. Well, there is a name, but there's not very little detail on it. She was well known, and that looks about 99. And look, there's a thing that seemingly represents a painting on it. Now, my ignorance, of course, means that I have no idea what any of the fucking painting she was in looks like. But I mean, it's possible. That's that in it. It's possible. But there's no point in saying, oh, it's possible. Like, is there any of these? It's possible. She could be just chucked in with someone else. I mean, that is. See, I could Google it and see if there's pictures of her. But the truth is, we're not in the EU zone for my O2 tariff, so I'd have to pay £6 to put it on the 4G, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. So I'll look around a bit more, see if we find it, and if not, I'll look at it when I get home or not, you know, and then look, it could be, right? It absolutely could be, couldn't it? I honestly think there's a decent chance that was it. In a way, it's disappointing if it is, and if it isn't, it probably isn't. But I'm going to look at it when I can, and we'll see. But I'm going to keep looking round while the battery goes, because you just don't know. But I've got good feelings about it. It was represented. It was in a place where I think they would have buried someone fairly prominent, especially someone who went to the bother of moving the grave for. It was clearly artistically rendered. Someone who'd been this, so it gives you a good chance that someone who was the topic of great artists. I mean, I say that I don't know that she was the last off the scream. She might have been, you know, she might have been in his thoughts. The wreck and the scream as well, it's creepy if you look at it under the realisation that actually there's no scream happening. I think that's what's meant to be represented. Like, it's someone trying to scream but is so terrified they can't. That's why they're overselling the movement. So maybe that was her. I don't know. Right? I don't know what you want us to say. I'm not. Monk isn't around to ask. As far as I know, look, I don't know for a fact that he's died, but he would be the oldest man to ever exist outside of the very old bits of the Bible, where, to be honest, I doubt some of their dating mechanisms. So I'll keep looking. And then maybe I have found it. Don't know. There's a lovely little grave there from 1926 with two hammers representing either, I'm going to go with revolutionary communism and the workers at the time, or West Ham United. There's no way of knowing. Yes, I pronounce we're now. Look, right, it's really hot. It's really hot. You know how hot it is where you are when it's hot? It's hotter, unless you're somewhere hotter than this. So what do we... You see all those dogs? There's lots of dogs. That's that noise. Why do I think there's these cages? I sort of understand rudimentary fencing, but I don't know whether it's a tradition or prevention of crime. Whether it's a sundial. You know, if you're at a grave, yeah, I'm fucking bored of being at this grave. I've been here for ages. I'll just check. But like, you've forgotten your phone. Also, it's night time now, so it wouldn't. Maybe they loved sundials. I don't like him. I wonder how widespread sundials ever were. You know, whether they just seem more common than whether there was like one in every town and people would go, oh, what time is it? Well, I'll have to go to the town hall, get a load of the sundial. Whether people, or whether like in those days people weren't bothered. They weren't on the schedules we're on, you know. Just, what time is it? Well, we don't really work on time. We're going to work, it's done. If we're hungry, we'll have our tea. And then it doesn't really matter because they've got we're down the pits till like, we just die of asbestos poisoning or whatever anyway. So maybe we're just in rich people's houses because the ability people found time really had any meaning, you know, until like the poor started being schooled, and then they were like suddenly like adamant you've got to get there for 9, even though like sometimes you live in Jarrow and the school was in Shields and we're relying on like the 316 or the 340 to get you there, and you're like at the whims of the bus services and the roads, but you still get in trouble if it was late, even though it's not your fault, because what can you do? And your parents don't drive because you're poor. Yeah, have you ever fucking thought about that, Mr. Wiblin, have you? No, you didn't fucking bother, did you? Okay, you can see the sun is setting on the beautiful, whatever these mountains are called. I'm going to say Carpathians, even though I know for a fact that's Romania. The Georgia mountains. We are heading back because it's getting dark. We don't want to get locked in with all the cheese and bread. Eggs and bread. If we find it, we'll let you know. If not, when I can, I'll look up what her grave is, and if it matches what we've seen, then I've found it, and then I'll have found that, and then there will be much rejoicing. Do remember though, let's not remember her as a lass who was horrifically murdered, although she probably was. Let's remember her for her works, her writings, which of course we're all more than familiar with, and her skills in being lush, but in the eyes of some painters. It's hobnobbing with the stars. It's not nothing, is it? Like, we can judge, but none of yous are good looking enough to get repeatedly painted by Edvard Munch, are you? So who the fuck are you to judge her? Nobody, that's who. Have a word with yourselves, man. Poor lass is dead, for God's sake. Okay, here we are at the entrance, and for our case, the exit. This is absolutely possibly the final resting place of Dagny Juel, or somebody else, and that might not be her name. But if nothing else, would we have swapped this experience for finding a grave where a fella was wearing sunglasses and having a cigarette? I think we all know we would. Back to Tbilisi, of which there are much nicer parts.